Let's bring you some news just in now. 16 prisoners have escaped from the Johannesburg Correctional Center, known as Sun City. Let's get you the very latest on this story. We're joined on the line now by Correctional Services spokesperson Singabakho Nxumalo. Thanks very much for your time, sir. So all we know is 16 prisoners have escaped. What else can you tell us?
As a department, we can confirm that indeed 16 remand detainees have escaped. We have staff launched a manhunt working with the SAPS. So we'll also be releasing their identities before the end of today.
What kind of convictions are we looking at here with these 16 inmates?
All those details will be contained in the statement to be released later, but all we've said is that should members of the public be in a position to identify some of them, they should report them to the nearest police station, because we consider them to be dangerous. When you look at the manner in which they escaped, it does tell that these are people serious in terms of committing the crime.
So when exactly did this happen? If you're telling members of the public to be careful, you should be releasing these details surely as a matter of urgency.
Yes, we'll be doing that because what we want is to ensure that we have everything, in that particular statement. This happened at about 3 a.m. this morning. So then it was brought to our attention, hence then we needed to inform the SAPS, which has opened the case, and the manhunt has started. So now what is important is to ensure that we get all relevant information, their details, and make them public.
Mr. Nxumalo, according to information we have, these prisoners broke through the iron bars of the prison windows. They then broke a portion of the wall. They only then escaped through the fence. It does sound like it, like there was a fair amount of noise, a fair amount of commotion involved in this escape. The question, of course, is how was that allowed to happen?
Any escape in a correctional facility is it's not permissible. It could be 1 or 5. It's even worse when it's 16. Hence, as a department, we've launched an investigation because we want to get to the bottom of this, the details, how the whole thing started. But for now, the focus is to ensure that we rearrest the 16, and we also check internally if perhaps there were loopholes.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the question now. So this manhunt is underway, and given how the escape was conducted, the amount of commotion that must have been caused by these 16 inmates while they were escaping, while they were breaking down a portion of the wall, breaking down the iron bars of the prison window, the question then is, was there some kind of internal involvement here?
The investigation will reveal all of that, because one need to even tell us whether this was pre-planned, because when you look at the manner in which the whole thing was done, it's highly unlikely that it was something that was planned within a short period of time. It will indicate that perhaps, they had some hours, to go through this. Then we'll have to check in terms of our intelligence how, this thing happened, and to say how many inmates were really involved. Is it the 16 or it's more than that? So all those details, I wouldn't want to speculate. We'll make them public once we have done the proper investigation.
So the escape happened at 3 o'clock this morning. It's now almost 11 o'clock in the morning, so some 8 hours later. Where are you in terms of the manhunt? Can you give us some kind of indication?
I wouldn't want to make all details public because that may, in the process, work against the operation which is underway with the SAPS, but we are really hot on their heels, and I'm sure by the end of the day we'll have made some serious developments.
So when can we expect the identities of these 16 escapees, as well as details of why they were in prison, for the sake of the public to be made aware of what's going on?
We are almost there. We just have to finalize everything because we just want to ensure that all inmates who were in that cell are accounted for. So it's the names, the crimes that they committed, and also to check whether others are they repeat offenders or they were there for the first time. So all those details will be contained there. Hence, we're saying let us get all necessary information and make it public once we are quite definite that everything is there.
All right. Well, thanks very much for the latest on this story. That was Singabakho Nxumalo, spokesperson for the Department of Correctional Services. This news just coming into us now. 16 prisoners escaping from the Johannesburg Correctional Center, known as Sun City. That happened at 3 o'clock this morning. We're now waiting, as you just heard, waiting on the names, the crimes committed, the details associated with these 16 inmates who are now on the run Correctional Services telling us that police are in fact hot on the heels of these 16 people. We'll get those details to you regarding their identities just as soon as they become available. Other news we're tracking for you on the channel.